Hello, everyone. Welcome to our welcome session with Mark's Career Services. We want to get started pretty quickly, but we want to have a little bit of an activity. So if you're familiar with Mentimeter, if you have your phone nearby or are able to open up another tab, do scan the QR code, or I'll put into the chat this link. We want to kick things off with an activity called Blank is What Matters. So here at Career Services, we want to know what matters to you as us who are involved with social impact and want to be in the public sector. I know a lot of things, a lot of different social causes and a lot of different policies are something that we're passionate about. So when I think of things that matter to me, I think of education, I think of growth, and I think of connection. So when you scan this, you'll be able to input your 3 words, and then in about I would say a minute or so, I'm going to reshare a screen, and it's actually in the background building a little bit of a word cloud. All right. It is building up. Thank you all. I'm going to also maybe participate just a little bit in this as well. Awesome. Great. So now, as this has been building in the background, I'm actually going to be sharing the screen of this word cloud that's been building in the background. So it's so exciting to see what all new students or even returning students to the Mark School, what matters to them. Like the bigger the word is, the more it's been submitted. So I'm seeing family, I'm seeing peace, community, connecting with others, connection. Unfortunately, it doesn't do the grouping, but we can definitely tell that's something that matters within our community here. Um, let's see, human rights, absolutely. So as everyone is still coming in as we go through today's session, feel free to keep on inputting what matters to you on here. We are going to return to a little bit of an exercise at the second half of today's session. And so I'm going to keep this open so it can keep growing here. Okay. Now I'm going to switch back to my presentation here. All right. So thank you all for joining us today. My name is Samantha Pardo. I am the Assistant Director here at Graduate Career Services, and I'll turn it over to my colleague Suzanne to introduce herself as well.
Hi, everybody. I'm Suzanne Grossman, and I'm Director of Career Services.
And for today, yes, we're going to give you a little bit of an overview of our department here at the Mark School. We are the 2-person team that is solely dedicated to career services here at Marks. So you may are familiar with career services in your undergrad if you did a degree elsewhere. So we're here to be where you're at. A lot of you are coming into these graduate programs, certificate programs, et cetera, having either previous career experience, previous academic experience. So you're all coming in at different career paths as well. And so we're here to help you. So, kinds of appointments that you'll be able to make with us include, general career counseling. We can do resume and cover letter reviews. We also do mock interviews and LinkedIn assessments. We mentioned very briefly at orientation, for those of you that we were able to meet in person, how we're very big into networking. And you'll see throughout the slide that we are having various networking events and opportunities to connect with the Marks community, students, alumni, and staff. So all students at the Marks School will receive access to Marks Career Connect. It's powered by Simplicity. You'll receive access to this after your ad drop period. This is the site where you'll see appointments to make with me and Suzanne. There's tailored job postings. We also have other um, resources on there as well. This is basically going to be the main platform for that. Something that's actually new this year is Handshake. So all Baruch students have access to Handshake. It is, if any of you are familiar with Handshake, whether it's from another institution, et cetera, you know that it can be a wide, vast variety of different sectors, different employers, et cetera. We at the Marxe will have a very unique opportunity to utilize both platforms. So you'll see various events and postings that might not necessarily cross post with them. One way I'd like to kind of describe it is that Handshake is going to provide a lot more opportunities for jobs that perhaps if you're interested outside of public administration, international affairs, higher ed, if you want to just take a look at what's there, great. Marxe Career Connect is definitely going to be a lot more catered to those specific roles and the sectors that our students and alumni are interested in. We do also have partner events that happen on Handshake too. So previously, while there was this whole thing of needing to make a Handshake account, and I don't have access to it. Now we have access to it. We do appreciate that your patience. That this is the first time that we're able to have this exciting double platform. So we do appreciate your patience as we learn to kind of navigate this as well. In the chat, I'm also going to put in two other opportunities for jobs. One is for jobs on campus. So if anyone at the graduate level has federal work study funding, and you would find that out through financial aid, there is a student employment portal for work study. The second one is for Marxe assistantships. So this is your what we consider graduate assistantships, so the opportunity to work alongside with a faculty member on their research. Those are found under student opportunities on the webpage as well. If at any point you want to meet with to create a application for any of these positions, feel free to reach out to our office as well. Yeah. So some of the employers that our students and alumni have worked in, include a plethora of these employers here. We host a variety of info sessions throughout the academic year to get to know employers in depth. They allow you to learn from the employer themselves, like beyond their frontline mission, and for the various types of positions they need to run their organizations. I like to think of it as, everyone needs a budget person, no matter what kind of organization you are. Everyone needs some sort of marketing, or everyone needs that sort of public administration arm, or that insight into each other's sectors as you kind of delve into organization. Many of these employ Marxe alumni, so whenever we're able, we do ask our fellow alums to come back to these info sessions. Most of our sessions are running virtually. They will be recorded unless noted otherwise. And then in May, we do host our networking night for the Marxe community. Yeah. So speaking of recordings, here is the list of the playlist that we have on YouTube. This is the most updated list. You'll see that our most recent one was probably towards the end of the spring. We do update this playlist every time we have an event. So for those of you who want to revisit this session later today or at another time, feel free, you'll find it on here as well. So an overview of our events. So some of our special events include the following, including that we collaborate with other career offices and with our alumni, our student clubs, and with subject matter experts on changing work trends. Every year we host a series of workshops called Search Over the Summer, in which we bring in job seekers in the Marxe community to share their experiences. And because there's no better time apparently, and I can vouch for this, to search for a new job when you have no classes, but you can also do it during that as well. The HEA happy hour happens every June, and that'll be for anyone working in higher ed, not just limited to the higher ed program. Coming soon, we will be announcing our MIA networking night. That will be sometime in October. And these are all going to be in person. Alumni career chats and roundtables, employer info sessions, et cetera, will all be virtual. Throughout the year, we do host, partner with other schools and other graduate programs to host career fairs. So we've, over the last couple of years, we've been able to have these fairs both virtually and in person. This government education and nonprofit career fair is part of a consortium that we're with Georgetown University. It is virtual on Handshake, so now that we have access to it, it'll be a little bit easier to join. We did partner with the CUNY graduate programs last fall to bring you an in-person fair at the Graduate Center. This year, we're working on a series of employer expos, both virtual and in person. So more to come on that as well. This is our webpage. So this is just from the Marxe School. You'll find us under student resources, I believe, here. And then we also have a sub tab with career resources. So definitely check these out if you're looking for some like a tutorial on resume and cover letter writing, searching for positions by industry. Perhaps we have job boards by different sectors. We have resources for international students, students with disabilities, and more. So our website is moving soon, TBD. So we've started preparing ahead by creating this shared document on Google that is going to be updated as we kind of keep adding things on. So we just wanted to get ahead and make sure that all students have access to these career resources as they move on to this new site and whatnot. For those of you that are in our new city planning degree, welcome. Our city planning resources are on this shared Google Doc and not on that homepage there. We have an e-news. So bi-weekly, every other Tuesday, beginning next Tuesday, you'll start to receive a curation of news and announcements, featured opportunities, Marxe Career Services events around Baruch and CUNY, and other featured resources by our partner employers. You'll get this in your inbox. It comes in, around the morning. So, and here is the most recent version of our last e-news as well. We have 3 LinkedIn groups for alumni, students, and constituents of the Marxe School. We encourage you to join any or all of them. Before you join, just do make sure that you are updating your LinkedIn to show that you are at the Baruch/the Marxe School in your education section. Here you'll see updates. It's another place where you'll receive updates about our e-news and upcoming events and any partner events with employers. Okay, so again, we're very excited to have you all. We're very excited to kick off another school year. So as you begin on your graduate school journey, or maybe continuing it, we want you to consider us as part of your growth and development. Everyone here is coming to expand their career in different ways. Consider us part of your education. Suzanne and I are always want to know a little bit more about, what you're doing in your classes. How are you preparing for your capstone? You'd be surprised how much that impacts our conversations when we're meeting one-on-one. And it's a really good time, as you begin this year, to start taking stock of like your strengths and weaknesses, or things you like and that you don't like. Those are all important to knowing a little bit more about you and how we can help you. Okay, we're going to do one last Mentimeter just so that we can get an idea of where you're at. So we want to hear from you. So in this next Mentimeter, we have 2 questions, which best describes your career level, whether you're entry level, mid, or senior, or executive. And then second is what can we help you with? So it's what I think it has resumes, cover letters, kind of all the above on our appointment types, and then asking for a little bit more if it helps as well. All right, I will let that go for a little bit as well. Okay. Does anyone have, so while we're collecting these, collecting responses, does anyone have any questions, either to put them in the chat or if you could unmute, because unfortunately I cannot see any raised hands right now. Okay, yes, and then the Mentimeter chat. Awesome. Okay, I'll do a little swap screen share here. Like, oh, actually, yeah. I'll do a swap screen share here in a second. I did see it. Okay, Eloise, how should we identify if we are trying to switch careers? Great question. Have a conversation with us, whether it's, you make that a first appointment, you introduce yourself over email, etc. Once, we have your student records here at in Mark's Career Connect, when you make your appointment system, we're open to the conversation. We'll want to know what you're currently doing, and then where you want to switch into. And that's easily the first step. Okay. So I'm gonna do a little share here. Okay, so a little bit of everything. So this is sort of the crowd that we've gotten so far, which is good. So one entry level, 5 mid level. Again, I'll keep this open as well. Some senior executive level. And looks like you're all here for everything that we can help you with, which is really good. Awesome. And then I'm just going to take a little quick peek at the Mentimeter that has kept growing, actually. So that's really nice. Awesome. Let's see, go back. Great. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up my portion of today's presentation with a couple reminders. Is that I want you all to start early. Again, consider as part of your classes, as you're meeting with your academic advisors, is it also a good time to see if there's an appointment available with us? The earlier that you have this conversation, the better. Don't wait till the end of your academic career, please, to take advantage of us. We won't stop you from doing it, but we always loved working with anyone who wants to kind of keep those conversations going. And lastly, I always encourage everyone to start passively looking. Like you are all beginning your graduate programs as a way to advance your careers. Start passively looking. It's free just to do a quick search, whether it's on LinkedIn, on Idealist, on higher ed jobs, etc. You don't even need to apply. But just getting an idea of what's out there is always a good first step. I like to think of it as, the job that you might end up in next might not exist yet, or someone might not be out of that role just yet. So the more that you can keep, the more you do your research and kind of keep track of trends, like the better. All right. All right. So I'll pause it here for questions as we transition into the next part. Does anyone have any questions? Anything here? All right. Awesome. All right. So as we're setting up for our second part, I encourage you all to stretch, glass of water, anything like that. How do you schedule appointments? Great question, always. So again, after the ad drop period, you will receive an welcome email from Mark's Career Connect. So the ad drop period is going to be a little bit around, I believe it's a little bit after Labor Day, but do feel free to reach out to us if you'd like to meet in advance. Let me take a quick look here.
I'm gonna share my screen, if that works, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this will be a little bit of an interactive Is there another question in the chat? Oh, okay. Um, you you will likely need either pen and paper for this or something you can type on because it's a you'll see there'll be some questions for you to answer. This is kind of a reflective exercise. We don't often take that time to kind of pause and look and think about your skills, think about your interests and where they come together. But as you're starting your program, or for some of you who are returning students but maybe recently started, this is a good opportunity to do that. So hopefully you'll find this exercise useful. Um, and we will get going. So we did the blank is what matters earlier on, which I think of as really about values. So what are our values? What matters to us most? And that those can be guiding principles for us, and as we're making decisions, particularly when it comes to career. So this whole training we're doing today is from Echoing Green, which is a really wonderful organization. They're known a lot for a fellowship that they have for social entrepreneurs. But a number of years ago, I attended this training for their Work on Purpose program where they were helping you. It was a train the trainer on this Head Heart Hustle program. So what you would be doing, we're building concentric circles, the head part on one side, the heart part on the other, and then the hustle is what goes in the middle. So I'm going to guide you through um, these pieces. So this is describing for you the heart part is what moves you deeply. The head is your skills, strength, knowledge, expertise, and talents. And the middle part would be your purpose. So we'll get into that more. So first, we're going to start with the heart part. So like I said, you need pen and paper, you need or something to type on that you're comfortable with, whatever works for you best. So heart is the issues, ideas, and people that move you. These are things you're connected to, things that make your heart beat faster, whether because you find them deeply compelling, infuriating, or thrilling. I'm going to read a series of prompts, and you could be writing while I'm reading, or you can listen to these and then I'll give you a minute or so to see what comes to mind. So either way. So here we go. Um, what issues or ideas make your heart beat faster, whether because you are so deeply compelled by them, because you're angered by them, or because you're overjoyed by them? What's the primary topic of the articles you always read or are most attracted to? What are some similar qualities in the people you consistently find yourself drawn to? What problem do you ache to see solved? What injustices get you fired up? Have you ever stood up for anyone? Who are your people? When you imagine the world you want to live in, what three words come to mind? If you were starting an organization or project, what values would you shape it around? And any other questions you can ask yourself that kind of speak to this question of heart and issues you care about, what you're drawn to. So I'll give you a minute or so to think about that and to be writing about that. All right, you can keep writing if you need to. I'm going to move on to the next section of our concentric circle. So the head. The head is your unique gifts, skills, abilities, knowledge, connections, everything else you bring to the table. This includes insights you have as a result of your experiences, your access to communities that others may have difficulty connecting to, and so on. So I'm going to read a series of prompts. Okay. What do you know inside and out? What groups or individuals do you know well or have unique access to? What are your tangible skills and intangible strengths? What have you learned for your jobs, things you'd put on a resume and things you wouldn't? What would you or those who know you well say you just have a knack for? What experiences have you had that have given you insights or information that most others do not have? What are these insights? What are the three things that your best friends, your family, and your mentor would agree you are best at? What is your role in groups, whether you're your friend, they're with your friends, your family, or your peers? Are you usually the pragmatist, the entertainer, the organizer? What are these people always asking of you? What do they see you as an expert in? What do you wish they were asking you? And I'll just chime in here that sometimes when it comes to this part, it could be something we take for granted. It goes back to that, what do you have a knack for, that maybe just comes so easily to you that you maybe don't even think of it as a skill. Whereas, yeah, just giving yourself that credit for something. So I'll give you a minute to respond to this part as well. Okay, you can keep writing if you need to. I'm going to move on to our next section. So this is bringing the head and the heart together, which they're calling the hustle. Though earlier in this other slide, we called it purpose too. Hustle is what happens when you align your heart and your head, doing work that draws from both of these spheres. This refers to those times in which you're really moving. You're in the zone, losing track of time, doing the work you would do for free, even when you get paid for it. Why? Because you are driven by something extraordinary, your personal purpose. Hustles can be topics. Your hustle can be a question for you to investigate or consider. They can be job titles or career paths. They can be roles. Think about boards, volunteer opportunities, paid or unpaid work. They can be artistic projects. They can be organizations, companies, or schools, existing or non existing. They can be complete thoughts or just fragments, shards of an idea. Some things you write down may be natural extensions of the work you do now. They may be activities or ideas you can incorporate into your work or your life as it is now. Other things may require radical change. You can write fragments, single words, or full sentences. I like to give an example here of myself, and this is going back a number of years, but a group of us formed this New York City version of a rock camp for girls. So it was music, but it was really about girls and self-esteem and giving them an outlet for creativity. And for me, I like to play music on the side, is that's sort of something in the heart space. But the head space is all these other skills I have. And at the time, I did a lot of volunteer engagement and recruitment. I organized fundraisers with other like-minded people. So that's an example for me of kind of bringing those two pieces together. And I'm sure I have other examples as well. In some ways, the work that I do now is very much an example of that, but just wanted to give you all a concrete example. I'm going to give you another minute to think about this, and it's just whatever comes to mind. This is, for most people, this is a brand new exercise, and so if you're not used to thinking this way, we're doing this relatively quickly. So just know that, other ideas may spark up, but it's just what's right here, right now, coming to mind. So at this point, we're going to do um, maybe like a 7 or 8 minute breakout room. Hopefully everyone can stay for that. This gives you a chance to meet somebody else at the Mark School and connect with others, which is always really important to us for our events. And you're going to share how the exercise was for you. You can share as much or as little. What did you discover from doing the exercise? Or feel free to share kind of what came out of it. Just make sure there's time for each person to have a turn. Sam, is that something you could help with the breakouts? And then we'll come back together and debrief on that. And we have a couple of other pieces where to close things off with. So see if you can fill this out. On the next slide, I have some examples of possible action steps that we recommend, but I just want to give you a second to look at this. And our office is really here to support you in this. Just something to remember. You're not alone in these goals. I think sometimes it can feel daunting, but that's again part of your graduate school experience is a lot of resources. You're part now of a community of others who have come before you. We have a very strong alumni community. We have a mentor program you can join, which we'll send in the follow-up if you haven't seen that already. So there's a lot of resources to help you get where you want to go or explore if you're not sure. So these are some actions. We'll send out both of these presentations to you so you don't have to worry about capturing all of this, but things like your LinkedIn profile, joining our LinkedIn groups, researching different sectors, attending some of our events. We do lots of events, and it's a way to meet people. Joining professional associations or clubs, things like that. With our office, you will ask you to log into our platform. As Samantha said earlier, you don't have access yet, and we will create your account. That is true for both Handshake and Mark's Career Connect. So if you try to create an account on your own, we will end up deleting it. But just be checking your inbox for those invitations closer to September. Meeting with us, but yeah, we are happy to have meetings anyway, so that you'll just need to email us in the interim if you would like to have an earlier meeting. Attending workshops, finalizing your professional portfolio. We do mock interviews, um, and more. So that's it. We appreciate you showing up for this introduction to our office. We're excited for you all to be here and to start the semester. We know things start to get very busy. So, keep an eye on deadlines, make appointments with us as needed, but we're here year round and we're available. And best of luck getting started. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody.